Hey everyone, welcome back and welcome if you are new. So today is going to be part 2 of my little series for new colorists. I did forget to show you guys 2 books that I forgot. I was going to wait till the end, but I totally forgot about it because the video was getting kind of long. So I'm going to show you now the 2 books that I was going to show you then. So I'm going to start with this one. I forgot to tell you guys that another place you can get coloring books for like the Japanese, Korean is Amazon Japan or Etsy. This one came from Amazon Japan, I think. I don't remember, but it had to be Amazon Japan. I don't think it was Etsy. But this one is a small sized coloring book. It is still kind of detailed, but I did forget to show you guys that, so I'm sorry. And then I don't know how I managed to forget to show you guys my favorite coloring book out of all the coloring books in my possession. This one is my favorite. Now this one is out of print, so you can't buy this one unless you're willing to spend almost $100 on it. This one is just so awesome. I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna like fangirl over it, but it's based on like a comic. I don't know really anything about the comic, but the coloring book is so awesome that I bought a second copy, and I'm gonna leave it at that. And you can see I've colored a lot in here already, but had to show you that. Okay, now this video today we're gonna talk about if I can get that back in place. Okay, today we're gonna talk about the materials. So first thing I want to show you guys is markers, and there are 2 types of markers, and I'm gonna show you. This one already has something on it. I just want to grab like a little scratch piece of paper, but all my scratch papers have something on it already. Okay, that one doesn't have too much. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in and talk about markers. So on the more budget side, I love the Crayola markers. And right here I have the Colors of the World set. And if you guys are going to get markers, I must say invest in the Crayola Colors of the World set, because this set is very good for skin tones. It has all of the different shades that you can use without spending a lot of money on markers. So for me, I like using markers, but I don't use them enough to invest in, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But I do have a decent collection of markers. But as far as skin tones go, for my water-based markers, this is it right here. So with water-based markers, and I'm just gonna pick up a dark one, and I'm gonna color a little bit here. So with water-based markers, there are pros and cons. The pros are it doesn't go through the paper, as you can see. I should have picked a better scratch paper because I need this paper. Let me see. Let me grab this one because there's nothing on this one. Okay, so it doesn't go through the paper. Now, if you do it a million times and just totally like saturate the paper, then you might have a problem. But, you know, you should be fine. So, but for these types of markers though, you can blend them together if you try hard enough. The problem arises when you put too much down, and hopefully you can see that it's starting to tear up the paper right in there because I put too much. So if you see right in there, it's starting to tear up the paper. You can only put down so much, but you can blend them. You just have to be careful because it'll start to, you see the paper is coming up. But if you just kind of needed to fill in some space, like let's say, you know, you got a circle and you just needed to quickly fill in that circle, you can do that. Also, a problem with water-based markers is that they're a bit patchy. They're not as smooth, so you can see the streak marks in them. Now, that's for most. I do have a set where I don't too much have that problem, so it really depends on, you know, what kind of marker, water marker, like the brand, I guess. So this is another brand I have. This is the Arteza Everblend Ultra H2O. And these I love because they are double-sided markers. So one side is going to have your chisel tip, which you can use for big spaces because it's kind of like a highlighter, or you could just, you know, use it for big spaces. Get that marker down. And these are very juicy too, so you don't need a lot of you don't need to put in a lot of work with these. And then they also have the brush side, which you can use for detail stuff, streaks, things like that, hair, fur. And these also blend very well for water markers, as you can see. And also with these, when you're using the brush tip, you don't really see, it covers it a lot of space. You don't see the strokes. And the chisel tip one, you can a little bit, but not as much as the Crayola. So that's another good one. And again, nothing is going through with these water-based markers. Now, another one that I like to use is, and none of these so far that I've showed you are expensive. Now, the next one, it was a little pricey, but it wasn't like break the bank pricey. At least when I got it, it wasn't. I don't know how much they are now. But these are the Faber-Castell Pit Pens. And these are water-based markers also. These have different kind of ink in them. I think they're like Indian ink or something. But they're still water-based markers. So you can still, you know, and these are one-sided and they're brush tips. So, you know, you can do them like how I'm doing them now. And they're different. These you can put down a little bit more than the other ones. They will still rip the paper if you put too much though. So be mindful about how much you're putting down. But again, it doesn't go through the paper. Now, those are the good things about the water-based markers. You don't have to worry about them going through paper. Your coloring. Hang on. Okay, you don't have to worry about them going through your coloring. Now, with alcohol markers, which I have here, these are the Ohuhu markers. These are the skin tone set, right? So just like the Crayola Colors of the World, only thing is these are alcohol markers. So what's gonna happen is, and I'm gonna show you the marker. So with these, there's brush tip and fine tip. With the Ohuhu, they have different combinations of tips and markers, but this is brush and fine. So with these, when you put this down on this paper, right, that's the brush, you don't see any streak marks, right? So it's totally smooth compared to this one and this one, like how you can see where I drew the circle and then went over it. No matter how many times I go over this, it's gonna just get smoother. The only issue it goes through the paper. So if I decide to want to keep going, or if I want to add like, you know, some other color to it, if I'm like, oh, you know, I think I decided I wanted this lighter color right here, and I go over that. That was the fine tip. Let me grab the brush. And I go over this, right? And I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna blend them together because that's the color I want after all. It's just gonna keep going through the paper. So, but it does blend very well. The problem is it goes through the paper. So be mindful when using the alcohol markers. And there's different types. I have some Ohuhus, which is these here. I also have some Copics. These are really expensive, so I wouldn't recommend using these in a coloring book. I would stick to something like the Ohuhu, like the cheaper brands, which you can find on Amazon. They have all types. There's like the Ohuhu brand, the Cali Art brand, just different types. So another thing you can use in your coloring book, as I told you before, are watercolors. And these you can also, they range, you know, different prices. But like I said in the first video, be mindful about how much water you're putting down on your page, because coloring books, most of them, they don't have watercolor paper. So the paper is not made for watercolor. You can use it, but it's not made for it. So it can go through your page. It can ruin your page. So be mindful, but you can use them. And you just, let me grab that paper. And what I like to use water brushes. I don't really like to use paint brushes in my coloring books because I can't control how much water comes out. So you just get a water brush, you go into that paint, and you can put it right on the paper, just like that. And also be mindful, because it's not watercolor paper, it is gonna streak. So you can go over it with some pencil or something like that. But if you put too much water, it will go through. It didn't go through this time because I've had a little bit of practice and I know about how much water to put on cheap paper. This is very cheap paper. This is just those note card things. There's also metallic watercolors, which is like, it's watercolor. It's still watercolor, but they're shiny. So these are very good for like accents in your pictures and things like that. You don't need a lot of this. But again, be mindful about how much you're putting down. This is what they look like. This is watercolor paper I put them on, so I was able to get, you know, to use however much water I wanted to. But these are what the metallic ones look like. And these are great. I use them on almost every page I feel like needs something shiny. I will put some metallic watercolors on them. Another thing you can use is, these are soft pastels, or like chalk pastels. And I have the Faber-Castell ones. They're different ones, different brands, different types, but I don't like using these a lot, so I just got the little set of Faber-Castell Petite. These are like the little tiny ones, and it's basically chalk, and you can use them, or what I like to use them for is like backgrounds and things like that, but they are messy. So if you don't like getting your hands messed up, because if I do this, it's on my hand just like that. So if you don't like getting your hands messed up, then don't use them. But it's like chalk. You can put it straight on the paper, or you can brush it on the paper. You can use your hand to smooth it out. I typically don't use my hand because it does that. But you can always, you know, wash your hands, get a little water. It comes off with water. I just spray my hands with some water and I wipe them down. And then once I'm done coloring or doing what I'm doing, I go wash my hands. But see, gone. I usually use for like I said, backgrounds, things like that. I don't use them just to straight color with, because just like they come off on my hands, they will come off on the page too. And it can create a big mess, and I'm not a fan of that. So another thing, let's see. Oh, let me grab, because my desk is a mess. It's never in order. I have like this page here I'm working on, and it's like off to the side because I don't want to mess it up. So I'm trying. Let me just, what an unorganized video, right? Okay. So another thing is, these are called Neo Colored 2s. And these are pastels, but they're water-soluble pastels. But these aren't chalk pastels. These are wax. So they're like water-soluble crayons, basically. So they are basically crayons, as you can see. Right? And you just put them down. Where's our little test sheet? Here. So you can put some down, right? So let's say I want to put this blue, and it goes down like a crayon, a much smoother crayon. And let's grab, I don't know, let's see, are these, I think I put these in wrong or something. I think this is actually the bottom tray. I don't know what's happening. Okay, let's grab a red, and let's get the red, right? So we got a blue and we got a red. Now you can leave them like that if you want to, or you can add water. Now, when I use these, I use them with water. I don't use them by themselves, but they are water soluble. So when you put water to them, they are going to mix together. And we got a nice, lovely purple out of that blue and that red. You see that? It's smooth like butter. You have to be careful though, because again, with too much water, it will, you know, it doesn't go through unless you put too much water, but it doesn't go through either. So that's something to think about. These are very expensive though. So these I would buy, like, I wouldn't buy if you're just coloring, or if you just want to buy them, I would get a smaller set to see if you like them, because not everybody likes them for some reason. I love them, but you know, to each their own. All right, now my favorite medium to use is pencils, and I have different sets ranging from different prices and different types and things like that. So let me grab a couple. Let me grab most of them actually, because they're all different. All of my pencil sets are different. So the first one I'm going to show you is my favorite set, and that is going to be the Faber-Castell Polychromos. And I put all of my pencil sets in cases. I don't leave them in their original tin. I put them in cases because I feel they're more protected in here, and I don't have to worry about you know, them breaking or me knocking the tin over and knocking them out of order or anything like that. So I put them in these cases, and you can get these cases on like Amazon. That's where I got all of mine from. They were all like 20 bucks and under. So you know, if you want to get yourself a pencil set, I would highly recommend getting a case to go with it. So the Faber-Castell Polychromos. Now these are my favorite for numbers of reasons, and this is what it looks like. It's the Polychromos. One, when you sharpen them, they tend to stay pretty sharp for a while. They last quite a long time. I've had these for, I've had these since I think 2017 or 18. No, probably sooner than that. Probably 2016, I'm thinking. Anyway, we're in 2023. And you can see, and I use these a lot because these are my favorite. But I bought 2 replacements. I bought one for this one because this is a purple that I use a lot. And then I also bought a replacement for this little tiny one because I really use this one a lot. So I bought the replacements and I haven't used them because the other ones haven't run out yet. But they last a long time. They stay pretty sharp, and they're a bit of a harder pencil. So that's why when you use them, the tip doesn't go down as quick. So, and they're very pigmented. Like, let me show you, because I do keep I keep color charts of my pencils. So this is the polychromos, just to give you an example. These are the colors. They come with very nice colors. A good range of colors. The only problem I have, and this is with all of my color pencil sets that I've just recently started to notice, is that when it comes to doing skin tones, I'm having a hard time, you know, or at least like the lighter skin tones, I'm having a hard time finding decent colors for those. So aside from that though, these are great. These are really great. There's a whole bunch of grays. There's a whole bunch of browns. You know, there's a whole bunch of greens. It's just a good set. And, you know, the pencils that I have tend to be on the pricier side because those tend to be the better ones. So I don't really have any budget pencils. I mean, the one that I do have, I took it to work for our break room, and the rest of these are like $100 and up, just to give you a, you know, a disclaimer warning here. But you don't have to buy these. I'm just showing them and giving the pros and cons to these. So these are also Faber-Castells. They're the exact same colors as the pencils that I just showed you, but these are the watercolor version of them. And when I say these are awesome, these are awesome. And you can use them as watercolors, or you can use them just like you use the pencils that I just showed you. I use them as watercolor pencils. So that's why they looked completely untouched, because you don't need a lot. You don't need to put a lot down to, you know, like you can put a little bit and it goes a long way. So I wanted to show you these before I continued on, because the pencils I just showed you is the exact same thing as those. So the Albrecht Dewars, which is the watercolor ones, they aren't round, they're hexagonal. But I don't use them like regular pencils, so I don't have to worry about, you know, the odd feeling of the hexagonal pencil in my hand. Now, another brand which everybody seems to love, and I hate to say it, but I don't love them like everybody does. I like them, they're okay, but I don't love them the way everybody else does. And that's the Prismacolor. And I know a lot of you are gonna yell at me and be like, oh my gosh, did she just say she doesn't like the Prismacolors? I did. And I have reasons. So with these, they are beautiful color-wise. They have a lot of unique colors. They have a lot of colors that's kind of hard to be found in any other pencil set. And they blend beautifully. But the problem I have is, number one, they break too often. And they break too often because they are really soft pencils. And because they're really soft, not only do they break, they go down very fast. This is a fairly new set, and you know, I don't use them like I use my polychromos, but you can see some of these pencils are very short, like this one, compared to, let me grab one that I haven't used yet, compared to this one. And it's either because it kept breaking, or I used it for something. And let's see, this is the gray green light, so I think I was coloring with that one, but look how fast it went down. Same thing with this one. I think this one I was trying to use on a video and it kept breaking on me, and I think even now it's broken, and I don't want to wiggle it too much because the lead will break. But these break too much for me. Not only do they break too much, they smear. But if you want to get a good set of pencils that don't cost that much, because I think these were only 100, and these go on sale a lot. Sometimes they go all the way down to 50. But it is a good beginner set to learn how to, like, if you want to learn how to color a little bit more advanced, this is a good set. Just prepare for them to break. Just prepare for you to be buying replacements. And all these sets that I'm about to show you, they do come in single stock, so you can, if you get low on one pencil, you can buy just that one pencil. You don't have to buy the whole set again, which is another reason why I buy the more expensive sets, because I don't have to worry about, oh, you know, like this color I like using, but now I gotta go buy a whole nother set because it doesn't come in single stock. No, these you can go into an art store. Sometimes you can even find them on Amazon. Just type in the color. Like I can type in Prismacolor gray green light and it'll pop up. Boom. I can buy just that one. But this is a good set. It comes with a lot of colors. Now this one has some okay skin tones compared to my other sets, but like I said, they break, they smear. If you are coloring and you rub your hand across whatever you're coloring, that color is going to smear, especially with the purples and the reds. But it is a good set. Aside from all of that, it is a good set, and I am using them more. Let me just show you the colors. I am using them more, so it's not like I totally hate them, but they do annoy me. So here are the Prismacolors. These are the colors. Those are the purples and the blues. And some more blues, the greens, the browns, the grays. I like the Prismacolors because they have the French gray, which is like a brownish gray. So those are those. And I do have these charts available in my Etsy set, but in my Etsy store. But we'll talk about this later. Now, another set I have is going to be the Holbeins. Now these I love. I love just as much as I love my polychromos. I love the Holbeins. The Holbeins is like the Prismacolors and the polychromos mixed together. They are a harder pencil, but they are also a soft pencil. They feel soft. They feel nice and buttery. They feel like, you know, they do go down a little bit faster than the polychromos because they're not as hard as the polychromos, but they're still really good. They're really buttery. These are these are my most expensive pencils that I own, and these are also, I can buy them also in single stock, which I need to do for some of these, quite a bit of these, because I use them a lot, especially this row with the browns and like the nice green, like moss greens and stuff like that. I use these quite a bit also. I love the Holbeins because they come with all these pastel colors and even more like pastel colors. I think there's like 50 pastel colors. I have this random Prismacolor in here and I'm not sure why, but I don't want to take it out because it's gonna come to me why it's there. I just don't know. But it has a couple of metallics. The metallics are okay, but it has more than just 3. There's like six, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 metallic colors. I don't use them a lot, but it is nice to have them. And then it comes with like this soft white, which I've only used once, and I don't really remember what I used it for. But this pencil is so soft that it literally tells you that you have to use a knife to sharpen it. So I don't use it. I just use the regular white because I'm scared to use a knife to sharpen pencils. But I love these, and they're round. I love the round pencils. I don't really like the hexagonal pencils because they make my hand hurt. But these are from Japan. I literally ordered them from Japan. This is what they look like. And it's just so, I love the round one. They're nice and thick. And that probably sounded worse than I intended it to. But they're just, I'm telling you, they're one of my favorites. Right next to the polychromos. But here's the colors. These are those autumn like colors and mossy green colors I was telling you about I use a lot. And here's the pastel colors. And we have some more pastel colors on this side. And we have some kind of, I call them highlighter colors. We have those. And so another one, because we got 3 more to go through. 4. So, and we're already at 30 minutes. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. These are the Caran d'Ache Pablos. And I love these. I love the colors. I love the colors. My only problem with these pencils is that they are so thin that after a while of me coloring with them, they make my hand hurt. These feel thinner than a number 2 test pencil. And I'm not sure, like the actual core of the pencil is not that small, but the pencil itself is like really small, and it irks me because these are great. Aside from that, these are expensive too. These were like $200. But the colors, look at these greens, okay? Like the greens. And then also I don't know if this one does, but a lot of these sets, they come in smaller sets too. So if you don't want to buy the full set, these are expensive because I bought the full set all in one go. Like I would save up and be like, okay, I got enough money. Which pencil set do I want? You can do it that way, or you can buy them individually based on the colors you know you're going to color with. But I've always found that hard, so I just bought the set. So those are the Pablos. And let me just put these over here really quick. Like I said, those are very thin, but they are great. I love the colors. I'm going to show you them now. So here's the colors on these. And I can probably put these in a better color order, but I like to keep them the way that they come in the tin sometimes. I love the beige and the brownish beige in these sets, and this light lemon yellow is a really cool color. This one has a lot of olive green and olive browns that I like. A lot of cool blues. I love this apricot color right here and this brownish orange down here at the bottom. And that's it. Those are the colors for the Pablos. So I have another set that I want to show you guys, and that's the Derwent Lightfast. So I'm going to show you the colors for these. I have, I believe, the 72 set or the 100 set. I don't know which one. But I love these because look at these browns. All of these browns, even some of these grays, like the fossil gray, the warm gray, you can use those as browns. And these blacks, it comes with 3 different blacks too. So you have like the purple or reddish black, and then you have the bluish black, and then you have just like black. So these pencils I absolutely love. I love the look of them, the feel of them. I would open it backwards. Okay, so I love these. These have like that authentic, like kind of I don't know, it just kind of gives me like a rustic feel or something. But these are the Light Fast. Derwent is a really good brand too, and they have like the tip just colored instead of the whole pencil. They're round. As you can see, there's a pattern. All of the pencils I like using are round. The Prismacolors are round, but those give me a headache sometimes. But you know, all these are the colors. They put them on the tips. These are those browns I was talking about. Look at these. And I love these. So these I use quite a bit too. And I have a whole backup set of those because of a manufacturer error or something crazy like that happened. And now these, I have a very, very tiny collection of the Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils. And I have a small section of them because I don't know if I really like them. I haven't used them enough. I didn't buy the full set of these because these bad boys are super extra expensive too for no reason. And I was like, okay, I don't want to invest that. These are more expensive than the Holbeins. I don't want to invest that much money in something and then find out I don't really like them. So far from what I like the feel of them, but so far I don't 100%, I'm not in love with these, so I don't know if I want to invest in them. So I'm just gonna buy like the colors that I like, which is what I've been doing, the colors that I think I'm gonna like. So these are the colors I have. I like to use more muted earthy colors, so you know. And then I have two of the Derwent drawing pencils because I wanted to see if I like them. And I actually really do like these, so I do want to get a set of these. So I do have those. And I also have a set of Black Widows that I don't know where they went. My brother got them for me for, I think, Christmas. And I can't seem to... I think I just found them. Hang on. Because I cleaned up my desk and some things are in places they shouldn't be. Okay. So let me just grab these. Now these are a budget pencil set. If you just kind of grab, because they come in different multiple sets. So if you just grab just like 1 or 2 sets based off of what you want, these can be very budget friendly. But if you get all the sets, they're going to be just about as much as a regular pencil set. And I feel like if you're going to do that, then go ahead and just get a regular pencil set. But I hear good things about these. I haven't used them a lot to be able to verify that. But, and it's mainly because I feel like I don't have enough colors of these. If that makes any sense. So I can't compare them and I can't use them properly because I don't have, you know, enough colors of them. And that's just my opinion. So another, I think, oh, the last set is my Inktense. And these are kind of like watercolor pencils, but they're permanent. So once they dry, you cannot re-wet them. You cannot, they're set in stone. I guess that's a good thing, maybe. But sometimes, like, if you mess up, that's it. So I use these very carefully. That's what these look like. These are really fun. They've since come out with more colors since these were bought for me, but they've since come out with more colors, and I haven't bought them because I feel like I don't use the ones I have enough. So another set, which I have but I don't have with me because I'm letting someone use them, is the Arteza Expert. Now these are budget friendly, but they're also like really good. These are just as good as the Prismacolor. You can't layer as much with these, but you can still blend very beautifully with these. And You can get those from Arteza's website, arteza.com. Those are really good. And here's the Neo colors, those watercolor crayons I was telling you about. So those are the colors for those. I put this in backwards, I think. So you have these, and here's the back side, and then you have these colors as well. So I try to keep everything organized, even though that one was backwards. And then I also have, I think that's it. I think I went through all of them. I also have the Brute Fooner squares, which is another budget-friendly ones, but I haven't swatched them yet. These are the ones that are at my job currently. So, I don't have them to swatch in my book until I bring them back home. So, that is all of the supplies that I use. I'm just kind of looking around to make sure, but like I said, I'm mainly a pencil girl, so I color with pencils a lot, which is why I have so many pencil sets, because that's what I use the most. So there are other kind of like supplies that you want to make sure that you have when coloring. So one of those, the main supply, especially if you are using pencils, is pencil sharpeners. This one is my favorite. This is the Staedtler, and it comes with 2 holes, one for pencil and color, and then one for just pencil. And then there's the Tagal, which has different numbers for how sharp you want your pencil. And then this is just a regular pencil that I use for like my more budget pencils and things like that. And it comes with a giant eraser on the end, so like if I accidentally go out the lines, I use that. When I'm using my watercolors, one thing that I make sure that I have to have is water brushes. And again, all this stuff you can get on Amazon. Is, you know, the water brushes in different tip sizes. This Faber-Castell one is my favorite. As you can see, there's a pattern. Faber-Castell is like my favorite with anything. So then we have like other things like glitter and stuff like that. You can really make your page what you want it to be when you're coloring. But to start, I would just grab a set of pencils and a set of markers and go from there. All right. So if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor and hit a thumbs up, and that helps people who are new to coloring or haven't discovered my channel yet. It helps them find my videos. It does something to the algorithm where it puts it out in their recommended feed and things like that. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give a thumbs up. That'd be really helpful. And I will see you guys in the next part, which I might go into more detail with some other things like advanced coloring techniques and things like that. But I wanted to make sure that in part 1, you're able to understand what adult coloring is, and you're able to pick a coloring book or what to look for in a coloring book. And then in this part, you're able to kind of pick a supply that you want to start with. So I would recommend just hopping on Amazon and, you know, typing in, you know, adult coloring pencil sets. And a lot of good brands and notable brands are, like, if you don't want to start with Prismacolor and Polychromos, you can start with Castle Art. That's a good one. Kalor, K-A-L-O-U-R, that's also a good one. You can look into the Black Widows. They have different sets. And then there's another one whose name is, and Arteza. Arteza's really good. Arteza has markers, color pencils. You can go on Arteza's site and just order all your stuff from there, except the coloring books. Well, they have coloring books too, but I wouldn't recommend getting coloring books from there. But they have markers. They have alcohol markers, water-based markers. They have colored pencil sets. So check out Arteza and see what you know, what you might like. Or you can, I would recommend starting with Amazon, because you can also just return it if you don't like it. I know that sounds crazy, but if you don't like it, return it. Don't spend your money on something and then you don't like it and then you just keep it. Return it, and then you can order something else. You can try something else, you know what I mean? So I will see you guys in the next part, and enjoy your night, and thanks for watching.